Uh, I think you must have realized by now that the majority is going in favor of industry status for EFT. And I'm going to join the majority. So let me make it clear right in the beginning that I am also supportive of this idea, but for different reasons. But before I spell out those reasons, I think it will be useful to spend a minute on these two key terms, EFT and industry. We have a history of teaching and learning English in India for almost 200 years. But how old is this term, EFT? I think EFT as a term started becoming current in 1970s, 60s probably. So hardly 50 years old term. Why did this term come up? Because the very paradigm of teaching and learning English changed radically recently, in the recent decades. Mr. Jain Krishna touched upon a very important question that's quite politically loaded. In the title of this conference, you have who, what, and how. But the important question, why? Why do we teach and learn English? We usually don't address that question publicly. Or if we do, we address it academically, theoretically. But the reasons why we are teaching English now and why our learners are learning English now are very different from the reasons why our 3 generations ago people learned English. And because of this, a new term ELT came up. I'm aware that I'm oversimplifying, but I'm just trying to I'm trying to invite your attention to this significant difference. The second word is industry, and I'm not going into definitions or characters, but I just want to share my feeling, and I hope that you also have a similar feeling. The moment we use the word industry in relation with education, our reaction is negative. Industry, education. And I completely agree with Mr. Tishna that industry is not a dirty word. Profit making is not a dirty activity. Then why do we think that way? And that brings me to the reason why I support industry status for ELT. There are many reasons, but I would pick out 3 important reasons. The first one is to do with the history and culture of ELT itself. As Adrian Holiday summarizes in his classic book, Appropriate Methodology and Social Context, ELT is a recent phenomenon, and it is still struggling for the status of an academic discipline. Hardly any university in India has a separate ELT department. It's normally accommodated in either applied linguistics or School of Languages, though the practitioners of ELT want an independent academic discipline. Second important point is ELT emerged not in England or America or Australia, the so-called Bana countries, as Adrian Holiday mentions. It emerged in other countries where people from these countries came on to deliver teaching and learning of English, usually through English projects. So there was a particular kind of need and a particular kind of drive that led to the emergence of ELT. And at least in the beginning, it was purely a commercial activity and sort of industrial activity. So I don't see any surprising demand if we are thinking of ELT as an industry. The second reason has to do with the history and culture of India. Traditionally, education is a charity, not a business. The stereotypical image of a teacher is one who is dedicated, committed, devoted, hardworking, and poor. So a rich teacher earning lakhs of rupees, smartly dressed, technology savvy, is a very, very recent phenomenon. It's still very unfamiliar image for us. So the traditional image or the traditional notion of education is charity-oriented notion. And now we are faced with the challenge of turning ourselves into business. I believe that at the moment, our education is caught up between these two images. It is neither doing proper charity nor doing proper business. But I also believe that it's a transition phase, and sooner or later this tension is bound to be resolved. The third reason why I support industry status for ALT is that it's already a kind of semi-industry. Compare teaching and learning of English with teaching and learning of any other subject, and you will see a very clear difference. ALT is already targets driven. It is commercially and profit oriented. ALT is interested in generating manpower and not humanizing as education in general does. So goals of ALT are quite different. Though it's happening all over education sector to lesser degree, to a greater degree in ALT you will see that it's following the management model. And finally, many of other panelists have referred to this, and it's a common phenomenon. There is already a parallel private industry of teaching and learning English. And sometimes, with very sad hearts, we see parents and people and money going to that industry rather than coming to formal traditional convention schools. So we must ask ourselves a question: why is a poor parent spending money on sending his or her child to a private spoken English class after the whole day school? And I think the reason is the school is not giving what the child needs or the parent thinks that the child needs. I wish to go a step further and say the school cannot provide what the child needs. The traditional conventional education cannot give the kind of English, the instrumental material kind of needs of English that we need. And I would also say that it's not the job of a school to prepare children to be employable. That is not the goal of general education. The goals of general education are different. And because we are burdening general education with these kinds of goals, because we are burdening a conventionally trained teacher to deliver something which is very modern and recent and very different from the kind of training he or she has got, the result is we are not getting what we want. So what will be the benefit if ALT becomes an industry? If we acknowledge, if we openly, and I like the word Mr. Krishna used a couple of times, if we shamelessly acknowledge that yes, it is an industry, then there are certain advantages. First of all, ALT will be freed from the burden of the general educational goals, and the general education will be freed from the burden of ALT, because these are two very different paradigms. Secondly, at the moment, ALT is operating as an industry within a non-industry domain, and it is also operating as a parallel industry outside. And in both the cases, it is neither monitored as education nor monitored as industry. So at least there will be some monitoring if we openly recognize it as an industry. So it will not be monitored by education officials, it will be monitored by industry officials, but then it will be subject to some norms and standards, at least of industry. No private coaching class needs registration. There are no mechanisms to check whether they are staffed by qualified and trained staff. There are no mechanisms to see whether they are doing what they promised to do. And if they are punished for violating the basic expectations, they are running free businesses. So again, referring to what Mr. Krishna said earlier, at least there will be some rigor and some discipline, and along with that some monitoring and some quality control, if we openly accept this as an industry. So I would just end by saying that look at Amity University and what you see around yourself. It is possible to do good ethical business. Why not do it? Why should we unnecessarily try to hide behind the label of charity and at the same time try to think of commercial and profit making because we need to be viable? Why not get out of that tension and openly see where we are heading? And for these reasons, I am the supporter of industry status for IIT. Thank you.